my favorite season. So in honor of my favorite season, I'm going to show you how to make welcome fall oatmeal cookies. For this recipe, you will need 1 cup of cake flour, 1 3/4 cup of rolled oats, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of iodized salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/2 cup of unsalted softened butter, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, 1 egg, large, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and 1 cup of peeled, chopped, and cored apple of your choice. You are going to need to set your oven to 350 degrees to get that preheated. You will need 2 bowls, 1 large bowl and a medium-sized bowl, a cookie sheet that is lined, you can use parchment paper or foil, an ice cream scooper or a cake scooper, a wooden spoon, and a whisk, along with a hand mixer with the beaters attached. In your first bowl, you're going to begin your dry ingredients. Using the cake flour, go ahead and just dump that in. The cinnamon and nutmeg, the baking soda and the salt. Using a whisk, mix that together pretty well. Why do I like to use cake flour in my cookies? I find it helps the cookies to stay a little airy rather than coming out pretty flat. And makes for a little chewier bite. There we go, mixed up. Then dump the oats. Again, mix it up pretty well. Until the oats are pretty well coated with the flour mixture. Try to get out any lumps that might have taken place. There we go. Should look like that. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side here and take this bowl. This is where we're going to prepare the wet ingredients. In this bowl, you have the 1/2 cup of unsalted softened butter and the brown sugar. With your hand mixer, we're going to mix that together until it's well incorporated. You'll want to use a bowl with a higher wall to it, unless you want to get too much. As that's incorporated, you'll add your egg and vanilla and the applesauce. I use applesauce in place of granulated sugar, as I'm trying to help my family stay a little bit more on the healthy side and cut down on our sugar intake. With that type of replacement, it's equal parts. So if your recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, it's a 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce. We're going to mix it up again. the real fun begins. Into the wet mixture, just a little bit at a time of your dry ingredients. I'd say about a half of your dry ingredients. And then begin to, with your wooden spoon, mix it up. Until all that dry ingredient is well incorporated with the liquid ingredient. Make sure you get all the good bits from the sides of the bowls. Can't forget those pieces. All right, now that is mixed together. Now we add our wonderful apple. 1 cup of cored, peeled, and apple. This one I used is a Honeycrisp apple because it was on sale, but you can use any type of apple. Mix that up just until you get the apples fully incorporated into the mixture. You don't want to overwork the mixture. Makes for a tough cookie. There you go. I know we're tempted to try it, the mixture, but I will spare you because I know we have a raw egg in there. So, but I guarantee you it's wonderful. All right, now we have all of our ingredients incorporated. Move that to the side. With our scooper, you're gonna just scoop and put a scoop right onto the sheet. I know they look like big cookies, and they are going to be, but I have a big family. So I'd much rather them take one big cookie than multiples of small cookies. Now they are going to flatten as they cook, but that's what you're going to look like. And we're going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll just check them in between around the 15-minute mark just to see if they're ready to come out. They should be lightly brown on the bottom. Welcome back. This recipe made about 24 cookies. However, my family got a hold of them before they were completely finished. Taking the last batch and putting them on a cooling sheet. Just transfer them over. See how the oatmeal cookies did not flatten out like some oatmeal cookies do? That cake flour does the trick. All right, put that out to the side. Make sure your oven is turned off. The finishing touch, a bowl of a mixture of granulated sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger. And if you don't have any of those spices, perhaps you have a pumpkin pie spice. Everybody who makes pumpkin pie knows they need to have pumpkin pie spices, so perhaps you have the pumpkin pie spice. That'll work as well. Similar to what you would do for a cinnamon sugar toast, you'll do the same thing with your pumpkin pie spice. A little bit of granulated sugar and your pumpkin pie spice, which again is nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, and ginger. And just lightly sprinkle it on top of the welcome fall oatmeal cookie. While it's still warm, And if you have a little bit of the cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger clove mixture left over, well, somebody's getting lucky for breakfast tomorrow. And right on to our serving tray. Good. All right. Well, welcome fall's oatmeal cookies. Hope you enjoy. See you next time.